Well, I tell you, one of the great things about traveling around the world are all the different species you encounter. We're in the country of Azerbaijan. We're right on the Caspian Sea. The Caspian Sea is a massive water body, but it's all fresh water. The Volga River feeds into it, big watershed. Let me tell you real quickly, some of these species we're shooting. This right here, in a country that likes to eat ducks, this is the prize. It's a mallard. So many people that come to some of these countries don't realize that mallards and other species are circumpolar. They're found everywhere in the northern hemisphere. But with all the different species we're fixing to discuss, let me tell you, a mallard greenhead means as much to these guys over here as it does to somebody hunting in the prairie of Arkansas. Just a splendid duck. We also see a lot of northern pintails. Very, very common species throughout the northern hemisphere, especially over in these Asian countries, over here in Eurasia. A lot of pintails, and they love this marsh right here. It's very shallow in places. It's got a lot of great invertebrates to feed on. It's got a lot of great vegetation communities. And pintails are pretty common when you get to some of the shallow water areas. Or green wings flying over us right now. Gadwalls. Yeah, I told somebody the other day, I said, you can take the boy out of Mississippi, you can't take Mississippi out of the boy, so, but we shoot quite a few gadwalls over here. Another good meat duck. All these are great meat ducks for these guys. They love them. They get excited about these big ducks. And of course, northern shovelers. Y'all know me, I'm gonna shoot a shoveler. Just, they're common here. And you know the funny thing about when you get in other parts of the world, spoonzilla makes no sense to these people. It's a duck. It's a great duck to them. They're proud of it. They like it. Over here, these guys love them as well as they like mallards and green wings. Speaking of green wings, I would say that in the places in Pakistan and Azerbaijan and the places I've hunted over here, green wings are probably the most predominant species. We see more of these than anything else, but hey, do you notice anything? There's not a white stripe on these Eurasian green wings. The white is here on the tertials, the scapulars right here. It's a beautiful white stripe on the top of the ducks. So we're talking about a Eurasian green wing, not the green wings we see back home. Very closely related. At a glance, I know you're all thinking redhead. It's not, it's a common pochard. Very fast, very furious, very, very good eating. Very similarly related to the redheads back home, but it's definitely a common pochard. If you take a look, about the last half of that bill has got a nice white stripe over it. Common pochard. I even think their head's got a little bit of a slant to it, like a canvasback. Very sporty to shoot, let me tell you. I don't think I've been anywhere in the world that I've seen more Eurasian widgeons than here in Azerbaijan. This is a juvenile male. Nobody wanted him to get mounted, so we kept him for this, held him back for this his. But at times, we may shoot 20 or 30 of these a person per week. Eurasian widgeons. It's crazy, we see no American widgeons over here. These birds you'll see as vagrants on the Pacific Flyway in the United States, but we never see American widgeons over here. Real big prize. It's called a common shell duck. If you take a look at these bills, see how that bill is upswept? When I see these birds feeding, they like very shallow mud flats. No water, just soupy mud. And they'll sweep that bill like a mason sweeps his trowel, eating little crustaceans in the mud. They're a big duck. I've had no success calling them, but they do decoy very, very well. Or they give you a nice pass over. Mongolia, Azerbaijan, perfectly legal to hunt, nice big trophy for the wall. Some places, in fact everywhere in the European Union, I've seen the birds in Netherlands, they're protected. Common shell duck. We're hunting late this year for Azerbaijan. We're here at the very, well in fact tomorrow the season closes. It's March 9th today, the season closes March 10th. We came to target this little species right here this year. It's called a gargany. It's obviously a teal. At a glance, when they're flying in the early light, it looks a lot like a blue wing. They migrate early and late like a blue-winged teal. That's why we came late. Last year, early February, we didn't see any. All the locals were like, hey, you've got to come back later. We've shot quite a few the last couple of weeks. Beautiful bird. Also very good eating, as good as a green wing. You know, the great thing about it is it's anywhere you go in the world, it's duck hunting, but it's great to come to different parts of the world and get your hands on some of these new species.